Hello and welcome. Today we have a question about NotebookLM, and it is, are we limited to the infographic styles that are listed? No, you're definitely not. And this is a common question, actually, and you aren't. So the infographic options that they put in there, and I mean, this is really for any of the artifacts. The style options that they have in there are just suggestions. It's just to get you past like the quote unquote blank page syndrome and just to give you some ideas of what you could do. So let me show you. This is just notebooklm.google.com to get to your home page here, and then you can either create a new notebook, or if you have some, you can go into an existing notebook. I will go into an existing one, and then you have to add a source, at least one, and then you have to select a source again, at least one. And then your artifacts on the right over here become accessible. And we're talking about infographics, but again, this applies to many of the other things on here that have image or has suggestions. So if I click on the arrow here, and then I'll have the little customized window that pops up, and then this is what we're talking about. So it has like this choose visual style here, and I can do auto select or sketch note or etc. And the question is, are you limited to these options? And you're definitely not. So what I did just to illustrate that is I made a couple of other infographics. I've made several in previous videos with this notebook specifically, because this is basically like how to cook a ribeye. And if you've watched the other videos, welcome back. Like I've done one in like the brick style, which is kind of like quote unquote Legos. I've done, I think I did a claymation one and maybe a sketch note one. I don't remember now, but these are the options that are in here. Right, so let me go and yeah, so these are the three. So I will show you the prompts that I use. So the first one that's just a different style is basically like a watercolor style. And this is the prompt that I use. It's not really that long or detailed, but just to kind of show you, like you don't have to go, you can go crazy. Like you can put really long, like multi-paragraph prompts, but once it gets too complicated, then the models get confused. But this is, 2.5 lines. But I did create a soft watercolor painting with fluid brushstrokes and bleed effects. Include a high quality cold pressed paper texture and layering to create an artistic, emotional storytelling feel. And then the topic is the steps to pan-sear ribeye. I only selected this source because the other source in here is a nonprofit report that makes no sense. So make sure that you have the sources selected that make sense for the infographic that you want. Because if you have extra ones, it can confuse the models. Anyway, so this is what it created. And again, I think this is actually really good for what I asked for and have the watercolor. And this is definitely a different style from the ones that were in that original list. Again, if this doesn't work for you, you can go in, you can revise it, you can make a new one, you can do whatever. And let's see, the second one that I did here was a chalkboard style. And prompt, again, pretty short. Create a realistic chalkboard style illustration with hand-drawn white chalk lines. Add authentic text shading, chalk dust smudges, and a gray background with a matte texture. And again, of course, the topic is how to pan-sear a ribeye. Now, if I go into this one, you have this, and this again, completely different style. You have, the dark background, and this is, the dark matte board. You have the chalk here, you have the smudges. I mean, I think for a real chalkboard, this is kind of a little too perfect. I mean, you know what? If you can create this on a chalkboard, more power to you. I cannot. But it does have the chalkboard style. So I mean, if I wanted to be just kind of less, perfect on here, I could prompt it to just kind of be more hand-drawn or more whatever. But I like the style, and it's like I think the style works for giving the idea of kind of that chalkboard experience, and then also being clear enough to have, know that it's a ribeye, to know like the different, like this is raw and this is cooked and this is grill line. I don't know why it has grill lines if it's in a pan, but anyway, I think that it works because of the topic, but choose your path. And the third one is I'll just read the prompt, create a premium looking Glass-morphic UI style with multi-layered frosted glass panels and a soft ambient glow. Use crisp white typography and thin neon accent lines for a sophisticated visionary tech feel. Topic, of course, how to pan-sear ribeye. And you get this. Again, completely different from the other two, completely different from anything that's in the list. You can create infographics and videos and just other artifacts in here with just about anything that you can think of and describe clearly. But again, I think this worked really well. I like the way they laid it out. It followed the prompt well. It shows what we're talking about well. And like I said, I think it works. But again, you absolutely do not have to limit yourself to the visual styles that are in here. These are just starting points. These are just to give you ideas. And you can come in here, and what I did for all of them was I put the level of detail to detailed, and then I put in the prompts that I already showed you. And then they took a couple minutes each, not too bad, maybe 2-3 minutes each to generate. And then you saw the final product. So it's just notebooklm.google.com. You either create a notebook or you go into one, you add a source, at least one. You have to select a source again, at least one. If you have a ton of sources in here, make sure that you only have the ones checked that are relevant to the infographic you want to create. And click on the little arrow to open up your customize box here. And if you don't want any of the visual styles that they start with, pick the level of detail that you want. Again, I did detailed for the ones that I just showed you, and then put in your prompt. Your creative, imagination is really the boundary here. You can ask for just about anything. I've gotten it to do, at least dozens of different styles, and it does a very, very good job. So play around with that, see what you think, and we'll see you next time.